What's going on, guys? It's Wafers, and welcome back to the Newport County Road to Glory Career Mode. It's episode 55, and today we are going to be finishing up the Premier League season here, going through that Arsenal game at the end of May. This is how the table looks with 4 Premier League games to go. We are 4 points behind Liverpool. We need them to drop points at some point if we want a chance to win the title. Our first game for this episode is up against Burnley. We will be playing this one at the Rodney Parade, so a home game to start off the episode. And 17 minutes in, Bennett would come forward. He would lay it off, and we work it around this left side all the way to Mola. He's going to pass it back inside, and this is going to end up at the feet of Telford, who slots it home to give us an early 1-0 lead over Burnley. We get the first goal of the game, and Telford adds another goal to his tally for this season. He's going for top scorer. He's close to it, but we'll have to see if he can end up with it after these games. Only 5 minutes later, and we would come forward again looking for our second goal of the game. Bennett gets through after a nice little through ball there. He's going to pass it inside to Hopkins. Hopkins will go inside to Marsh, and he hits Rollins for goal number 2 in this one. We take a 2-0 lead up against Burnley there with 2 goals within the first 25 minutes. So off to a hot start in this one, which was good to see off the back of those 3 losses and 3 draws in the past 6 games. We need to win these last 4 if we want a chance at the title, and the 2-0 start was a good start in this game. But Burnley would come forward looking to get a reply here, and they would eventually find a goal after working around. Adeyemi is able to fire that one past Shepherd and get them back within 1 to 2-1. But then into the second half, and we would look to restore our 2-goal advantage. Telford in on goal, and he is going to fire that one into the back of the net to put us up 3-1. We take a 2-goal lead once again, and we were looking very dangerous in this second half. We would come forward a lot, and off of a turnover here, we would look to add another goal to our tally. It'd be Bennett into Telford. Telford is going to lay this one off to Adam Rollins. Rollins into the box. He's going to put it back to Marsh, and Marsh, after a pretty lucky deflection there, is going to pass it off. We work it around, and it's Hopkins who fires that one home at the near post. Unsavable with how much power he put on that shot. Nothing the keeper could do about that one. Top right corner from that range is pretty much a goal every time. And then into the last 10 minutes of the game, Hopkins would get forward again. This time, he would finesse it around the keeper. A nice little left-footed finesse shot. That's what we typically see of Hopkins. Usually he's cutting inside and finessing it with that left foot. We go up 5-1 against Burnley. And then just to finish this game off, Telford in on goal. He is going to chip that one over the keeper. A nice little chip there to end this one. We go up 6-1 over Burnley, and we start off this last stretch of the Premier League right with a 6-1 win. Dom Telford collects his game ball after scoring a hat trick. After that, we would go into our scouting report. Looking at some of these players, there were some that I just rejected right away, but there were a few here that looked pretty interesting. Mark Cook and Harry Embry both have pretty decent potentials. Embry is worth £800,000, 16 years old, so we are going to sign him up. And then we're also going to sign up Mark Cook. He is also worth around £800,000, 825,000 to be specific, and he's 15 years old. He's another goalkeeper, so we're getting a lot of goalkeepers now, but as you can see here, he's not the best one that we have. He is the youngest one we have, though. Prosser is higher overall, but Cook is a year younger. The potentials right now are around the same, so we'll have to see where they end up. They might be 85 to 90, and one might be 90 to 94. But we'll see how those end up as they progress in the youth academy. We also were able to pick up Embry, and you can see that Embry is a 61 overall right midfielder, and he is 16 years old. He is a decent potential. Just looking at his stats, he has a lot of work to do to get in a position where he can contribute to the team. His things like shot power are pretty low. Some of the passing stats are pretty low. So we'll have to work on him. But eventually, he may make an appearance. Now we have to go into a game, the semifinal for the Europa League. The first game, we are at Stadia Rennes for this one. A pretty, tough opponent. Rennes is usually a pretty good side in career mode, and in this one, they have bought some really good players. They have Doku down this right-hand side, and it's actually going to be Herrera who gets involved in this first goal for them. They're going down this right-hand side, just working it around, looking for some space. Eventually, they pass it back inside, and it's going to end up with Hector Herrera, who finishes that one bottom left corner. Really nice shot there, and he's able to put Rennes up 1-0. But in the 25th minute, we would come forward. It's Andia coming forward, looking for someone to overlap. He's eventually going to find Reese, and Reese is able to finish that one to bring us level 1-1 in the 26th minute. So we respond pretty quickly to their opening goal in this one, and we get right back in the score sheet. We also get an away goal, which could prove to be important depending on the result of the second leg. Still in the first half here, and Andia once again coming out of midfield, looking to get an attack started. He's going to find Reese, and this time Reese rolls through Jenkins with a nice fake shot inside to beat the defender. That fake shot just sent the defender for a run there. He went in the completely wrong direction, and Jenkins was able to finish that one and put us up 2-1 on the night. And we get those 2 away goals. Again, could be very important. Rennes would come forward in the second half, looking to even this one up. And after a tackle that didn't go our way, they are able to come forward. It's Taremi who feeds Herrera, and once again, we just could not control Hector Herrera coming out of the midfield. He was just finding space on those forward runs, and he's able to grab his second goal of the night. But in the 75th minute, we would come forward, and it's Jenkins in on goal. He is going to chip this one over the keeper. A really, really nice chip there. The keeper sort of got caught in no man's land. He came out for the ball, but Jenkins beat him to it. So after that, it was sort of over for him, and Jenkins is able to chip that one over. So we win the first game of the semifinal 3-2, and those 3 away goals could be big. We'll play the second leg later in the episode. But after that, we are into another Premier League game against Wolves this time. Usually a pretty tough opponent when we played them in the past. In the 15th minute, we would come forward looking to get the scoring started in this one, and it would be Bennett finding Telford. Telford would hammer that one home to put us up 1-0 in this game. Another goal from Telford, another assist from Bennett. Those two are really driving us through the entire season and through these last couple of games here. And that would be the only goal in the match. So Telford scores 1, and we take the 3 points against Wolves. And here we are going to go into the second leg against Rennes. This one's going to be at home at the Rodney Parade. And all we have to do in this one is not allow them to score, or if they do score, we have to match that. But we are able to actually get ahead of that in this game with Jenkins putting another one past the keeper. He's been on absolute fire in the Europa League. I think he's up to around 16 goals in the Europa League. It's the competition high, and Matondo would also get involved in this game, driving down that left-hand side. He's going to finish that one. And at this point, I felt pretty comfortable. Within 20 minutes, we were up 2-0 on the night, and that puts us up 5-2 on aggregate, with 3 of those being away goals. And I felt like this was going to be a pretty easy game from then on. Matondo gets in once again down this left-hand side, and he is also going to finish this time to the bottom right corner. First one to the bottom left, that one to the bottom right. and we were just cruising against Rennes as they sort of went all out attack in this one. They knew they had to score some goals, and it just did not work out for them into the second half, and Jenkins was on the hunt for another goal here. He would get into the box after that pass from Reese, and he's just going to fire that one near post, and the keeper misses it. It goes right over him, and we go up by 5, I believe, in this, sorry, 4 in this one. 2 goals from Montando, 2 by Jenkins, and we are able to win the semifinal 7-2 on aggregate, and we will be going up against Torino in the final of the Europa League. So pretty exciting there, getting to the final of the Europa League. I wasn't expecting it, but we went on a pretty good run, and Jenkins has been carrying us through that competition. Into another Premier League game, and this one is going to be up against Leicester City. We jump straight into the second half here, about 25 minutes before the end of the match, and Telford in the box. He's going to drive inside and finish that one near post. A really nice shot there by Telford to beat Kasper Schmeichel at his near post, and that was one of our only attacks in the game. Leicester played us very, very tough in this one, but we are able to win it. We end up with the 1-0 victory in that one, and we beat Leicester City. So heading into the final day, we are up by 1 point on Liverpool. Liverpool did lose to Man United on Matchday 37, and they drew earlier against Southampton. So we have an opportunity to win the league. Our fate is in our own hands, and we are up against Arsenal, a very tough team to play in the final match. At this point, Liverpool was also playing against Brighton, which I just assumed was going to be a win for Liverpool. So it meant that we had to get a win in this one, and it did not start off well. We have Tovin down this right-hand side, putting work in on Mola. He beats him with a really nice spin, and they work it inside. Eventually, this one would end up with Sargent, and he would finish it to give Arsenal an early 1-0 lead, and we are not off to a good start in this game. But 5 minutes before the break, we would come forward. It's Ibrahim Marsh out of the midfield. He is driving forward and shoots it. He scores, and he's going to go pick up that ball. It's 1-1, and we just need another goal to get us that title. And we would go into the second half, about half an hour left in this game, and we were looking for our second goal of the match. We were on the offensive, and Marsh would find Coughlin. Coughlin over to Hopkins, down this right-hand side to Williams. He's going to pass it back inside. It gets to Bennett, and Bennett finishes it. Just a really nice, tidy finish there by Bennett into the bottom right corner. Hopkins didn't really have the angle to shoot, so I laid it off to Bennett, and he was wide open, is able to beat the keeper and put us up 2-1 on Arsenal. And at this point, we were looking for insurance. We were looking for another goal to make sure that they couldn't get back into this, and it would be another Bennett goal here. This time he's on the left side of the net. He puts it into that corner, and we go up 3-0 against Arsenal with only about 10 to 15 minutes left to play in this one. We would come forward one last time, going into stoppage time. Bennett is going to head it down to Telford. Telford lays it through to Alex Bennett, and he gets the hat trick on the final day to put us up 4-1 on Arsenal and seal the game for us. The win means that we win the Premier League title. You can see the fans at the Emirates going crazy. 4-1, Bennett with the hat trick, and we are able to grab ourselves the Premier League title in our 5th season, our 2nd in the Premier League. Last season, I believe we finished around 7th. This season, we were able to get the title on the last day of the season, on match day 38. A massive, massive drama in the Premier League. We're able to win it. We're able to beat Arsenal and grab our first Premier League title for this squad. I'm so happy that I was able to do it this season. We started off on that amazing win streak where we were unbeaten for about 27 games. And then we hit a really rough patch around the last couple of months where, you saw we lost our first game. Then we went on that streak of 6 games where we lost 3 and we drew 3. That brought us down from first place. We dropped into second place, but because of some other results, we had the opportunity to win it on the final day. We helped ourselves, winning our last 4 Premier League games, and the biggest one by far is against Arsenal, as we seal the Premier League title with that win. You see Bennett running around the Emirates with the Premier League trophy over to the Newport County faithful over there in the corner, and you know, I'm just very surprised, but also excited about the result that we've been able to get this season with this team. This team has improved a lot since we first got it in the Premier League, but I do think that this team will continue to get better. The next thing that I want to go after is the Champions League. Obviously, we do have a Europa League final to play, and we'll get to that, but the next big trophy, since we now have the Premier League trophy, is to get that Champions League trophy. But very proud of this squad and what they've been able to accomplish. Premier League champions, and it is so sweet. You can see 38 games played, and we finish 1 point ahead of Liverpool. They did win their final game of the season against Brighton, so that win, we needed to win that game, and we do it to grab the Premier League title. We do have one more game, like I said, though. We'll be playing against Torino in the Europa League final, and I will be playing that one live for you guys since it is the final of a big tournament like the Europa League. I'm going to be rolling out the Europa League lineup, which is basically our backup lineup for that final. I feel like they all deserve to be in that squad and potentially compete for that title. They've carried us all the way there, and I just feel like it's right for them to play in that final. But I'm so excited that for this episode, getting the Premier League title is such a big accomplishment, and doing it so quickly in this series has been so nice. That is going to be it for this episode of the Newport County Road to Glory Career Mode. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to drop a like on the video, comment down below, let me know what you think, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys soon for a new episode.